Alright, everyone, welcome back. So, our trade deadline previews continue on today with the New York Islanders. So, the Islanders, as of right now, they're a team that's in kind of a weird spot when you look at them overall. Just standings wise, just like overall as a team, they're in a really strange spot. And they're going to be in this spot for maybe 2 to 3 more years before we start seeing either some positive improvements or some negative improvements. I'm going to be honest, we're probably going to see this team around the same place where they are next year, unless if Patrick Roy changes things up a lot. So, as of right now, they are currently 21, 17, and 12 for 54 points. They are 4th overall in the Metropolitan Division. They have currently $134,000 in cap space. So that's not a whole lot. You can't even sign a player to an ELC with that amount of money. So, unless if they move some of their big contracts or they do some LTIR management, they're probably going to stay around that cap space. So I don't expect a very active deadline. I don't expect them to aggressively sell, but I don't expect them to buy either. They don't have a whole lot of players to move per se, and there's not a whole lot of players on this team that, players would want. And there's not a whole lot of assets either that they can move for other picks. So their UFAs, as of right now, are currently Cal Clutterbuck, Matt Martin, Mike Riley, Sebastian Aho, and Robert Bortuzzo. So, I'm honestly thinking if I'm the Islanders, I want to clear some of this dead cap. I want to move Clutterbuck. I want to move Martin. I want to get them out of the system. Not just because, they're not bad players necessarily, but I think if you're this Islanders team and if you're Lou Lamoriello, you want to get younger and stop, grabbing on to these certain kinds of players and start to get a little bit younger. We've seen some guys come up into the system this year, like McLean, for example, who has played pretty well. He scored his first NHL goal the other night. So it'd definitely be interesting to see if they go in that direction. But obviously keep Sebastian Aho and not the one from Carolina. Keep probably Mike Riley. Just try and convert to a competitive rebuild. Because I'm going to be honest, if this team even does buy in and they go on a hot streak heading into the playoffs, let's be realistic. They're probably going to play a team like Boston or the Rangers, and you're already about 6 points behind the Red Wings for, that second wildcard spot. So just right now, it's not ideal for the Islanders currently. And yes, there's plenty of time before the trade deadline. We're literally about a month out from the deadline. So the Islanders very well could win a lot of games down the stretch, but just as of right now, I can't see them getting into a playoff spot with the way the teams in the Atlantic are playing right now, and especially to if Philadelphia, the third team in the Metro, starts winning a lot more games, it's not going to be good for the Islanders. RFAs, you got Oliver Wahlstrom, Simone Holmstrom, and McLean. So 3 young players that really haven't been, all too exciting players, mainly Wahlstrom. Holmstrom and McLean have been actually pretty solid. Holmstrom, very solid. Short-handed player, plays very well on the penalty kill. That was a stat early on in the season. McLean, as I mentioned, scored his first NHL goal the other night. So there's some potential in some of these young players. However, I'm hoping, though, that under the system with Patrick Roy, Oliver Wahlstrom more specifically plays better because he's been in a rough situation the last couple of years with the Islanders. And I think that it's possible we could see a change of scenery happen with Wahlstrom. He strikes me as one of those players where that could very well happen. So, what are your needs if you're the New York Islanders? Well, I think they're pretty much the same things that I've said in a lot of the seller videos. You want youth and draft capital. You're going to see that a lot through a lot of the sellers. We have Chicago later on today. That's going to be a team that is definitely selling. You're going to see those same things pop up. And definitely you want those if you're the Islanders. You're an old team. Even though you're still not terrible, you're still a relatively older team. You're arguably the oldest team in the National Hockey League. So you want youth and you want draft picks too. You want some guys to select in the first round who could be some solid players. And if I'm the Islanders, I keep their first round pick. Even if you want to try and buy in and go for the playoffs this year, I keep that first round pick. Because when I look at the Islanders, realistically, they're probably going to be first round exits. Realistically, if we're being very realistic right now, they're probably what they're going to be if they make the playoffs. So, movable pieces, there isn't a whole lot. If you're not buying or selling, and that's what my stance currently is right now, you really don't move anything. I have Wahlstrom down on here. Mainly because, again, what I said, he could use a change of scenery potentially. He's a guy who could maybe use one. But overall, the Islanders are more likely as a team that's probably going to stay pat, maybe sell a little bit, maybe buy in a little bit. Right now, they're one of those teams that it's too far out to really tell what they're going to do. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you are an Islanders fan, what would you like to see out of them heading into this trade deadline? Thank you all for watching. If you enjoy, make sure to leave a like. Hit that subscribe button down below. I really appreciate it. But anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Adios.